Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to the Distinct and Jovial podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Jerry. How you doing, Jerry?
Guten Nacht, Dom.
It's a bit good.
I'm very good, thank you. Wie geht's?
Yes, very good. Looking forward to this podcast. It's going to be a good one. We've had so many technical hitches trying to get into this one that I generally don't know what I'm doing anymore. So we're making it up as we go along. Is it still the 25th? It is the 25th of November. It's the 25th of November. It is our 18th podcast. It is 9:45 at night already. And as we always say, the views that we hold on these podcasts are our own and do not represent the company or anyone else that we work for, which I think we do both agree with.
We do, wholeheartedly and with great gusto.
I was expecting you to do a Spider-Man quote, which was like, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I thought you were going. I thought you were going full on.
I don't have any power. Hence,
no, you don't. You don't anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Only your wife can tell you whether you're irresponsible, I think.
She who must be obeyed. It's going to kill me for that.
I can laugh because I'm single. That's the best bit about it.
She's going to kill me. Anyway.
Does she listen?
So she hasn't listened to a few, so she needs to catch up. Yeah. She needs to catch up. She can't hear me now, so that's why I'm getting all cocky now. Like, come on in, you want some? And then as soon as I walk out the door, it's like, shh. Yeah.
It's one of those how to call it you're out of hitting distance, therefore you feel brave.
Exactly. I'm out of hitting distance, and she can't hear me, so it's all good. I can say whatever I want for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'll love this. We've got a massive jam-packed it's a bit of a Christmas special. It's a little bit of a custom one. I'm kind of looking forward to it. We've got lots and lots of bits and pieces. But we are going to do a couple of topical events that we very briefly want to talk about, purely because, well, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting couple of times. And we get to talk about Jerry's favorite person first. We get to talk about Elon Musk and his recent takeover of Twitter. So I'm just going to sit back, and I might even mute my mic and just let him crack on with it.
Okay. So do you want me to start?
You go for it, my friend. Great, I've got to edit those. Have you read into any of the Twitter debacle at all, or have you just tried to avoid it?
I've tried to avoid it. I have heard some of it on the news, and it is getting a bit silly. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but he basically said, I want everyone working, I don't know, silly hours. You need to be dedicated. You need to work hard. Go hard or go home. So everyone went, okay, we'll go then. So I think something like he fired half the people, and then the other half went, yeah, well, we want to leave anyway.
Yeah.
Including a lot of the engineers and the key people is what I heard. So they have to keep the lights on.
Yeah. So we don't normally say what we do, but just my previous job role was as a developer. So I'm familiar with code. The interesting bit, so brief history of what I can remember from Elon. I haven't actually got it up in front. That's my poor planning. Elon Musk took over Twitter. He went in and went, wow, this is really inefficient and losing £4 billion a day. So I'm going to fire half the staff. He fired half the staff. He then told the remaining staff that they needed to be in the office minimum 40 hours a week. So none of this like flexible time, considerate hybrid working that we've all come to used to post-pandemic. It's a little bit bitter, something close to my heart based on today. Then he went, right, we need to turn those members of staff obviously are leaving in droves because they're like, whatever, I don't want to do that. He tweeted out something around one of the services, and one of the engineers for Twitter replied on Twitter in public that he was wrong, so Elon fired him. He then made the blue tick payable, so you could be verified on Twitter by paying $8. This meant that like there was a bunch of parody accounts. So I can't remember the company, but it was a pharmaceutical company. I want to say LV or something like that for in America that sells insulin at $320 a month, and somebody faked and bought a blue tick, faked being that pharmaceutical company, and they tweeted out, it's now going to be $1, and their stock dropped by something ridiculous like 84%, and it has not yet recovered. And I'm like, that's good. That's actually a good thing. Like, power to the people. With great power comes great responsibility. In this case, great power comes great bombardment across the stock market. What else did he do? He went in and turned off a load of services that he quote unquote was bloatware. One of those services was the MFA section. So if you logged out of Twitter, you would not receive a whatchamacallit, you would not receive a text to let you to log in. So just if you logged out of Twitter, you couldn't log back in. What was the most recent spat? Oh, apparently all of the European workers that he's fired, because they're not American, they have slightly different laws. They can't just be fired like that. That's not the way that we do things in Europe, because we're not a third world country. So yeah, and basically he's doing an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, brilliant job of proving to the entire world how much of a complete arse he is. It is fantastic. I'm loving him just burning in his own, like, demise, so to speak. And you know, there's little things like I would never buy a Tesla because I just know that he's a terrible man. He may be very clever and have done like SpaceX and Tesla from the ground with significant money from American grants to get them off the ground. But at the end of the day, being clever and being like, how to call it, part of it does mean it's a bit like, it doesn't change that he's a terrible human being. So
I don't even know what to add to that. I think that was an amazing summary. I find it incredible that he actually went through with it. But I think that's because he had to.
He had to go.
Is that right?
He had to go through the purchase.
Yeah, he was going to lose too much money if he backed out of the deal. Is that right?
He was going to. No, they were going to sue him for the amount that.
They were going to sue him. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, he had too much at stake. So he had to see it through.
Mm.
His feet were taped to the pedals on it.
Yeah, very much so. And okay, don't get me wrong, right? If I'm going to give any positive, he does take the term "fail fast" very quickly, because he put the blue tick in and he's taken that away immediately. He's gone, that was a terrible idea, and it's like, okay, fair enough. You put it in, you've taken it away, but we could have told you beforehand it was a terrible idea. So,
well, I think I've got to give the guy a break. I've picked on him a lot. You weren't expecting this, were you?
No, I wasn't.
This is a complete curveball now. I actually think you've got to look at the positives, okay? And one of the positives is that he didn't build a spaceship, a rocket. Spaceships, it makes me sound like I'm 6. He didn't build a rocket that's basically shaped like a giant penis.
I was going to say, when are you going to mention, what's his name? The dictator, isn't it? I need it to be more pointy.
Yeah. And, for that, I give him credit. You've got to give credit where credit's due. It doesn't look like a giant.
Oh, dear.
Symbol.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just had to get that discussion point in because so much of this podcast whines about being, humor and kindness, and he just embodies everything that is not kindness. That I just want to say, dude, go away, get out of my news feed. Just get out.
You know what makes me laugh is the fact that I was very. I used to go off on rants, and just you were trying to stop me. I was like incandescent with rage. Now it's just flipped.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, hey, got to give credit where credit's due. It's got a decent shaped rocket, and you're the one going. That and another thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow.
We've done a complete switcheroo.
We're doing a complete switcheroo. I have to bleep a little bit less than I thought I was going to have to bleep at least. Anyway.
Yeah.
The other topical event that is happening at the moment, which you've put some notes, is the World Cup. Now, football. Yay, football. I'm not the biggest football fan. I don't know how much entertainment you find from it, Jerry.
I love the World Cup. I'm not like a huge football fan. I do like watching football when I get the chance to. But I'm not an avid football fan. I'm definitely not like a lot of people that I come across that seem to be football statisticians that go back to like the 1920s, and they go, oh yeah, do you remember when so-and-so played for QPR and they scored that goal in the 71st minute of that match at Brentford, and it was... And
somebody will listen back to this and say QPR have never played Brentford in their life. So
yeah, exactly, and that's my point exactly. Yeah. So, and I'm definitely not, and I find that daunting, and that's one of the reasons why I never really got into sport, because it's like everybody just seems to be the stat man. But I do like the World Cup because it's all of a sudden it's a stage where you've got all of the national teams getting together, and they're playing out on the world stage, and it's great. It's a brilliant tournament. To be fair, it is the one tournament where I think, oh, actually, I'm missing out. If I'm not watching a game, I feel like I'm missing out. So I find the whole thing around the World Cup being hosted in Qatar a bit bizarre.
Yeah, so honest. I think we have to address. So everybody, it's funny, right? You look at I watch a couple of YouTubers that actually base a lot of their stuff around football, right? And they're very entertaining, and they do lots of gaming videos, which is more my cup of tea. But some of them are quite entertaining. People like Chris MD and the Sidemen, I enjoy what they said. And Chris actually MD released a video today, which I watched, and he was he did a football video with all the World Cup footballs. Then at the end, we've got to basically address the elephant in the room, which the BBC, by the way, did a fantastic job. They completely shunned the opening ceremony of the World Cup and just put human rights activists after human rights activist after human rights activist, just absolutely slating Qatar and FIFA, right? Because FIFA have said to our football players, you can't wear rainbow armbands, you'll get a yellow card. And it's like FIFA were trying to say you can't bring politics into football, and then they literally make it so that if you bring politics into football, you get a yellow card. I've never heard of such corruption in my life.
It is, honestly. Thing is, we in this day and age, it's just ridiculous that you can't even. You should be able to wear whatever armband you want to wear and just express yourself.
I want to wear floaties.
The whole thing.
While playing football.
Yeah, so do I.
Swimming armbands blown up.
Yeah, definitely. Or just wear like a shark ring or something like around your inflatable around your midriff. That'd be pretty cool. And maybe something on the legs, on the shins. No, it was the same thing with the NFL, and it really wound me up. So, Colin Kaepernick is absolutely amazing. So, so I do know a bit about NFL, probably a bit more than I do about football, actually. But Colin Kaepernick is he's a brilliant quarterback, and he played for San Francisco, and he took a knee.
Yes, he was the one that took the knee.
Yeah, he was the one that took a knee because he actually spoke to a friend of his who's a vet, so been in the US Army, and he said, what, I don't know what to do, but I have to make a statement. I don't know what else to do. And they actually talked about it, and he said, look, I'm just going to prepare you now, You're going to be standing next to me when that national anthem starts playing. I'm going to take a knee. I just want to give you the heads up. So what I'm going to do. I don't know how else to express the fact that I'm just dissatisfied about the fact that nothing's being done about racism and police brutality linked with it. And he took the knee. And oh my God, the fuss! And it destroyed his career.
Oh yeah. It changed his
he's
career.
An amazing
definitely.
quarterback.
Yeah.
He's an amazing. Yeah, well, it changed his career. That's right. So he then, I think he then became known for being a political activist, and he actually ended up doing some great things. But I do think so. Where I struggle with regards to things like whether it's Qatar, whether it's just large corporations or whatever, I think it was Nike. Nike ended up making an advert with Colin Kaepernick after that.
It was a really good advert.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good advert. But the irony is a bit thick. So you've got a company that exploits labour in foreign markets to make cheap trainers, basically, and doesn't pay minimum wage, and they there was a whole scandal, wasn't there, around working conditions and labour.
Yeah, that was the other bit about Qatar as well, the working conditions, as well as their oppressive. No, homosexuality is illegal. Women's rights are still in the 1910s. Those types of things. They have a lot of religious things.
Yeah, and Nike sort of supported Colin Kaepernick, but that's stuck in my throat as well a bit. Because I'm kind of thinking, oh, okay, so now you've got this guy that's really high profile, and then you jump on it to try and make some more money out of something, which, you've got to. Where are the, end to end in the whole process of everything, right? There's got to be morality. There just seems to be such a lack of it. So it's like it seems to go out the window just for financial gain. But what's also incredible is the amount of money I find incredible. You think of football, you don't think of Qatar. And then you should see the stadiums and things that they built. It's incredible.
Money pays.
Money they poured it. Yeah. And money talks, and money. And, even Sepp Blatter said, yeah, I don't know if that was the right, maybe it was the right decision to award them well, you're saying all of this now. Well, how many people did okay out of that deal?
Oh yeah, several.
Right. So
while looking into this, it was interesting because I was reading about my Reddit throws up some weird things, and I need to probably spend less time on Reddit because it definitely corrupts your brain a little bit. But I was reading a little bit about into the Qatar stuff and things like that, and people were saying, like, the people that believe this from Qatar were saying, well, actually, you're being oppressive by not being tolerant of my opinion. And then this thing came around about, can you be tolerant of intolerance? Right? They are intolerant of gay people. They are the ones, in my opinion, that are being oppressive. Can you be tolerant of intolerance? Right?
Because it's illegal, is that right?
Yeah, homosexuality is illegal in Qatar.
Homosexuality
by
is
death,
illegal.
By the way. It's not like, in jail for a couple of weeks. It's by death, right? You will be murdered.
What the hell?
Right. And that was just an example, but the comic around the tolerance of intolerance the tolerance of intolerance, right? That's where you become like, you get in this as like catch-22 thing. Like, when does being tolerant of other people mean that actually you become tolerant of their intolerance, right? I like to think that I'm a fairly progressive person and I'm happy for other people to have their opinions. But if your opinion is racist, you're wrong, right? That's where, for me, my tolerance ends, because you're being intolerant. And that's where the argument for these racist people to sort of say you're not tolerant of my opinion, you can see why they come up with that argument, because they're trying to use your own argument against them. But there is a point where you kind of go, yeah, but you can't be like that. And it happens in in all of the things. Like, if somebody says you can't be gay, then that to me is a wrong opinion. You can have a wrong opinion that isn't justified.
Well, and that's like, wrong. It's ridiculous.
And it's the same. It's the same when religious people try and push certain agendas onto them. And most of this Qatar stuff, a lot of this Qatar stuff, I believe, is religious based. But please correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, if you believe that homosexuality is a sin, great. You don't become homosexual. But you are not allowed to be oppressive and put that on other people. If you personally don't believe in it, great, then you personally don't be gay, right? That's pure and simple. But you do not have the entitlement to tell other people what they can do. And that's where tolerance comes in, because I believe that everyone should be able to represent to them. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight, you're bi, you're transsexual, you're transgender, you're pan, you're asexual, you're demisexual, you label yourself as a cat. I genuinely do not care, right? And that's the difference. I personally identify as XYZ, but I'm not going to push somebody and say, "Oh, you should identify as XYZ." And I will. And the bit where tolerance needs to come in is, if somebody comes up to me, and Taekwondo is a good example. If they come up to me and they look in a certain way, I may go, "Hello, sir," or "Hello, ma'am," because we've been taught that we have to, greet people by sir or ma'am. And they may go, "I'm sorry, I identify as that." Right? Tolerance comes and goes, "Oh, I didn't know that. I'm very sorry, a mistake." That's, there is still, like, I've grown up in certain times. So that's where tolerance from both sides comes in. But you have to be careful about tolerance of intolerance. And, that's why I'm so against abortion, right? If you don't believe in abortions, great, then you're not allowed an abortion, but you're not allowed to push that on anybody else.
Agree. And what's ironic as well in this situation is that the messaging that's come back from the authorities in Qatar, which has been very defensive, is just shown that they're intolerant of tolerance.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Right? It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah. If you support anything, then yes, that's like they're intolerant of you. What? What's wrong with these people? Don't get it.
So they're intolerant of tolerance, and hence the reason why you're not allowed to wear the rainbow armband.
That's how this all started out.
What?
And you put on, like, you love the World Cup, which I think it's good. It's a good thing to do. We love a bit of competition, a little bit of friendly banter. Hopefully we stuff the Americans, which is currently playing as we speak, but I don't know. I didn't see the answer.
Is it still?
I don't know. I didn't see the result. I would say hashtag sport, but they drew. No draw. Drew with the Americans.
We
drew with the Americans. Well done, Americans.
You what now?
Did. Oh, we're not going to win it this year.
Full time, 0-0. What the fringe?
I was wondering what the fringe would come out.
Yeah, what the actual fringe? 0-0.
No.
Wasn't expecting that. Okay.
No.
No, I think it's a shame. It's a real shame, because it's a sport, it's a competition, it's the world stage. You've got all the people representing their country and playing for their country, regardless of their sexuality and whatever. It doesn't matter. Everyone's representing their country. Everybody's excited about playing football on the world stage. And it's just a shame that you've got the conditions in which there are things just detracting from that. So you've got this constant cloud of the quite rightly so, but the people objecting to policies and laws and the politics, and it's just hovering over everything, and that's a real shame.
Oh yeah, it's absolute. It's disgraceful.
But
disgraceful.
Yeah.
Right. I want to talk no more about depressive things. I want to get onto our Christmas special. We've got an absolutely cracking set of notes from my wonderful mother, who we are very much looking forward to. Jerry is very much. What was it you said? What was he said when I jumped on the call? Your mum is a legend, I think is what you said.
She is an absolute legend. Legend. I read her email and just went, "What a legend!" She's brilliant.
So we will go through that. But we shall start with food, because we're both big food lovers. So we'll start with our food of the month. We've got 2 sections on this. The first one is custom advent calendars. You can give your thoughts on this, because I looked at your notes and I cried with laughter.
Yeah, well, I think I was probably referring more to just box standard advent calendars. Well, actually, see, I didn't really read the question properly. I didn't see the custom. I just read, advent calendars. Right? And I went, oh my God, the chocolate in them is hideous. It's just usually powdery, dry, flavourless dog shit. Formed into like a snowman or Father Christmas or a reindeer. It doesn't matter how you shape it.
It still tastes like plastic.
Shit is shit. It does.
It
tastes like plastic. It's hideous.
Yeah.
The chocolate in them is hideous.
Yeah, I can. Yes, very much so. Absolutely, very much.
So, but yeah, I didn't read the custom bit. So custom, I just struggle with the whole advent calendar because what is the point? What are we trying to achieve here? Start as Simon Sinek or Sinek would say. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Start with why.
Yeah, start with the why. Why are we doing this?
Start with why. Why are we doing this? You can't. I don't think anyone's really going to come up with a compelling enough reason to say, "Yeah, we're doing a countdown to Christmas."
Yeah. I have to be. I have to be very careful what I say, because I actually have bought 3 custom advent calendars for friends and family this time. I can say it because will they listen to the? Yeah, no. They could. Will they listen to the podcast before I've given them their gift? I have bought 2 of my friends Lego advent calendars, and I've actually bought my mum.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, whoa. That's a curveball.
Yeah.
So that's just throwing the spanner in the works. That's throwing a cat amongst the pigeons in the same way that Hoops said, oh, what about Coronation Chicken? And that just threw me. Where was I? That threw me.
Right.
Yes, Lego.
Lego advent calendars.
Okay, that's different. That's different. Because I have such a soft spot for Lego. As soon as you say, you had me at Lego. And so there's apps. Now, I completely retract everything and just say, yep, custom advent calendars that include Lego are absolutely fantastic, and I fully endorse them, and I fully endorse this message. My name is Jerry, and I fully endorse this message.
So the other advent calendar that I have bought is for my mum, and I have bought her the Yankee Candle advent calendar. So you get a little tea light.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So that's pretty good. So I think. So maybe that's a yay for custom advent calendars.
Yeah, I think it is.
So it's evidently a yay for advent calendars that are not chocolate, basically.
Yeah. So, boo for chocolate. And I love chocolate, by the way. Absolutely love chocolate. But chocolate advent calendars.
Yeah, but it's got to be proper chocolate.
It's got to be proper chocolate. And I haven't come across a chocolate advent calendar yet that seems to contain any half-decent chocolate. So Lego, yep. Yankee Candle, not quite my thing, but I get it. I think it's a damn good idea. So big thumbs up.
You don't want to know how much the Yankee Candle one was. That's the difference.
I don't want to think about how much it was.
Where is the a chocolate like advent calendar? They're probably, well, with current inflation, they're probably a £5 these days rather than a £1. But that's fine. The Lego ones are 30.
That's not bad.
Which is not horrendous, because Lego is very expensive.
Yeah, that's not bad.
The Yankee Candle one, to be fair, the Yankee Candle one is a substantial box, to be fair. The Yankee Candy one, and Mum, close your ears, because I have bought it for you for Christmas. But you hopefully would have opened it before this podcast goes out. The Yankee Candle one was 60. Yeah, it was quite expensive. But it's a Christmas present. It's my mum's Christmas present. She's not getting anything else.
No, and yeah, when I think of the cost of something like when I think of the cost of the Yankee Candle, I just think, that really gets on my wick. Anyway,
you need to get out.
we can wax lyrical all night about Yankee Candles. But I haven't got the energy to burn the candle at both ends. Anyway, so the show must go on. Sorry.
I hate my life.
Why?
I'm certain I did something wrong in a previous lifetime. I'm pretty sure.
Or to be
that,
lumbered
I've
on the
just been-
podcast with me. Yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Although I use that phrase with my friends quite a lot. I'm sure I did something wrong in a previous lifetime. And they're like, you did something right to end up with us. I'm like, absolutely.
Exactly. By the way, did you ever hear from... Sorry, just change the subject a tiny bit. Did you ever get any feedback from a certain friend who... on all of our German and the fact that we threw so much German...
Oh, not caught up yet.
Ah, that'll be the reason why.
Samwise, I don't believe, is up to date.
I didn't want to say the name, but yeah, okay.
No.
She hasn't caught up yet.
Samwise
Okay.
is Sam.
Okay.
She hasn't caught up yet. I'm gonna need to get her on the podcast at some point as well. Although I'm gonna have to tell this story. And apologies, Samwise, I'm stealing from your husband's thunder. But she rocked up from work, and he was in an inflatable T-Rex costume. So,
Is this like
I
some
just
kind
get-
of kink, or was it? Or what is it?
No, he just was like, I want one of these. I'm going to buy it. And then instead of being like, look what I bought, she just arrived and he was in it.
So where were we? Inflatable
Inflatable
dinosaur
costume.
costume.
Yeah.
Kink.
Oh my god.
No, it wasn't kink. It's nothing kink related. Sorry, Samwise. It's nothing to do with that. I'm sure it's nothing to do with that. Rest assured, it's nothing to do with that.
Oh dear. Right, and then we can go on.
Dinosaur
Let's go on to the
fetish.
other dinosaur
Do
fetish.
you know
Is
they're
that-
related? Well, they're related to chickens. If you have a chicken fetish, if you love chicken, it's only a very short leap to dinosaur to then. They're very tenuous links.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with this one, Jerry.
I don't know. I just
think I want to dig out of this hole.
Does he like KFC?
I don't know. I don't know her husband well enough.
I think if he really loves KFC, I think that would explain a lot.
Shall we dig out of this hole?
I'm too deep in. Throw me down the blanket.
What is that film?
I don't know.
Oh no, it's not. It's the Vicar of Dibley, where she's got the giant chocolate, chocolate
oh
fountain,
my
and she's
God.
like, "I'm going in."
I'm going in. What
That's
a
what you've
classic.
done. You've
what
just
I've
gone.
done.
I'm going in.
I'm going in. I've gone
going
in.
in.
I'm in.
You're
There's
in.
no getting out now. Anyway.
I'm going to do a bit on a bit that I haven't edited, by the way, just to let you know, we've had so many technical issues. Jerry has crashed about 3 times, so the editing that I'm going to have to do is insane. And so some of our ramblings might not make sense because there might be cuts and jumps and skips. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So whatever. Right, it'll be whatever it'll be. We never said that our podcast was professional. We just said it was us.
Yeah, we didn't call it professional and jovial and
Yeah.
distinct. How many things do you want? Distinct, jovial, you want professional? Enough already.
Oh, like proper delirious. Can we go on to the best bit, right? Because I've
Go
got
on.
these stack of things like
Yeah,
sat
go
next
on.
to me. So, folks, we are going to do a list, a mince pies wars, similar to like what we did with the snack wars, where I ate a Twinkie, which was one of the most horrible things I've ever eaten in my life.
But you're still digesting that, by the way. You don't realise.
Probably still
That's
digesting
still
that.
sitting in your gut.
It's plastic, therefore I'm going to be digesting it for the next 3 million years.
Exactly.
They'll find my corpse. They'll unbury me, and they'll be like, "Oh, look! On the X date, he ate a Twinkie."
Yes,
So-
we've noticed that the composition Dom is about 3% plastic.
So,
Which is nice.
what's interesting? I wonder if they have exactly. Oh no, they are different. Ooh, maybe. Right. So I've got like 4 boxes of mince pies here. All right. I've got
Okay.
some Sainsbury's ones. I've got some Asda ones. I have some Tesco ones. All right.
Oh, those are the
and
ones
I
I've
have-
got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
look.
I have
Yeah.
Morrison's ones. Morrison's ones. Yeah.
I like
yeah.
the way you said that. Got some Morrison's ones.
Yeah, Morrison's ones.
Are these Morrison's ones?
Well, the problem is because it just says the best, and I couldn't actually see the Morrison's, and then I realised it was written right above the best. But the Sainsbury's ones don't actually have Sainsbury's written on the front of them.
Okay.
Oh, and Swanee, these contain alcohol, so if you want to see the Drunk Podcast, this is what you're going to go see it.
Nice. Have to eat 50 mince pies.
So we're going to do... So Jerry has slightly different. You have the one from Oldie. What does the Oldie box look like?
Very Christmassy. Lots of red going on.
Ah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks like a Mr. Kipling box.
Yeah, don't know. But it's the Holly Lane. I love the fact that it doesn't actually say Aldi, it's just Holly Lane. Which sounds like some sort of dodgy soap opera. It's like a cross between Hollyoaks and Coronation Street, but not the actual street, just like a side street in Coronation Street. Excuse me, mate.
Coronation Street side alley.
How do I get to Coronation Close? Where you go down Coronation Street, take a right down Holly Lane.
Mm. Jesus.
Holly Lane. So yeah, Holly Lane, and then we've got the Tesco's regular.
Ah, you bought the Tesco's regular.
Yeah, and then the ones which literally contain 3 months worth of daily saturated fat intake. 3 months worth in one pie. These ones, Tesco's Finest.
Yeah, Tesco's Finest.
So because you've got Tesco's Finest, and the fact that you exercise and I don't, and the fact that you burn about 12,000 calories a day in exercise, and I burn about 12 calories a day in exercise, means I'm going to skip the Tesco's Finest for the sake of my longevity. And
can't fight my way into a bloody wet paper bag though.
Yeah, but it's all the sweeter. This is going back to primal instinct when we had to chase and kill our own food. You're kind of doing the same thing, but for a mince pie.
I started with the Sainsbury's ones because actually I'm not going to lie. Look how beautiful that mince pies looks like. Look at that.
Oh, that's the thing of beauty. That's nice.
And look how thick it is.
That is. Yeah, but
It's proper
never mind.
chunky. Just get...
As they say, never mind the quality, feel the width.
Yeah. Oh shit! I can't get another mince pie out. So I've got the Sainsbury's one. There's difference. Sainsbury's one is on the right. This one's the Sainsbury's one.
You're right, or my right?
This one.
Your left, my left.
Yeah, look at the size difference.
And size isn't everything either. Dumb.
No, but well, Asda. Sorry, this is the Asda. This is the Asda one. This is the Sainsbury's one.
Okay.
Asda seems to have coated theirs in so much flour, sugar. Must be icing sugar on top. Flipping, I'm going to be finding that around the flat for months. Anyway.
Yeah. You're going to have sniffer dogs around your house.
Sniffer dogs around your house. There was icing sugar. So, yeah.
Okay, so which one do you...
I'm currently going for the Sainsbury's one because it looked the most interesting.
So which one do you want me to go for then? Shall I go for the Aldi or the Tesco's first?
Oh, you've got to go for the basic ones because I seem to have picked the most fanciest ones. So go for your Tesco basics.
Okay, Tesco basic. Here we go. Here we go.
This is great. This is a great sight to have on camera. It's me eating a mince pie, or by taking a bite of mince pie at least. Anyway. I have a confession. I have had an Asda one and a Tesco one already this week because I bought them a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to have them sit there." So I know what these are. These are actually the best so far.
Oh my god, that's so good! Wow. Yeah, I promised Mrs. W. I've got to do more of that. This podcast. So here goes. Wow. Honestly,
the other bit.
That's lovely.
Well, the Tesco basics.
The Tesco's basic one is seriously good.
Have you got another one to compare it to? That's probably the difference, isn't it?
I've got. There was me saying I wasn't going to eat whole ones, but I think I'm going to have to retract that statement. My God, this is good. So I've got. I'm munching my way through the Tesco's one, and then I've got the Aldi one next. Oh, wow, that is lovely.
Yeah. Do you know, interestingly, I reckon by the sounds of it, the basic ones are probably better than the finest ones. The Tesco finest ones are quite dry.
Are they?
They're quite dry.
Have you got a Have you got a packet of the Tesco's basic ones?
No.
No, you haven't, have you?
No.
Dom, next time you go to Tesco's, seriously, you need to get one.
Who says that we don't do consumer advice? Get the basics, don't get the fancy ones.
Get the exactly. We're going to become like the next Martin Lewis, money-saving expert.
It's just, speaking as my mum, that Martin Lewis is my mum's hero.
There you go.
I have to admit,
we are now.
The Sainsbury's ones, so much deep filling. That was good.
Yeah. Right, so I'm now tucking into the Aldi one.
And I'm going to try the Morrison's one because I've had the other two this week. So I don't need to eat 4 mince pies tonight because otherwise
That's
I'm
good
not going to
too.
sleep. I mean, to be fair, they're all good. They're mince pies. But the Tesco's ones were definitely very dry. Ooh, these might be puff pastry rather than normal pastry.
Which ones?
The Morrison's one. Oh no, it's still better pastry.
This is great.
This is tasty, but we should do this every podcast.
I think we should do this weekly.
Weekly.
We don't actually talk; we just eat.
Yeah. Sod the listeners.
People just watch us eat.
The listeners have no idea what's going on.
No,
because
Well, no, probably not.
That one's a fairly chunky one, isn't that?
It looks good.
This one looks interesting. Oh no.
No?
No, the pastry on top is the star on top is like double thickness. I don't know if you can see that.
God. Yeah, I can.
So there's hardly any mince in it. It's a pastry pie, it's not a mince pie.
I don't want to be in a pie. I don't like pastry.
Yeah, and then because it's a bit too thick, you bite into it, it just squashes everything. So it goes everywhere.
It just presses down as your teeth sink into it. Yeah. Sorry, Dom. I'm in this euphoric, almost orgasmic state of mince pie bliss. What? Which one was that one again?
Morrison's.
A
little bit of a disappointment, that.
I can wholeheartedly endorse Tesco's own value mince pies. Well, they're not value, actually. They're just the standard mince pies. And Holly Lane.
Holly Lane. Yeah, I think so. Tesco Finest, then, bit average. So I'd actually probably put them below both of those by the sounds of it.
Okay.
Asda's only a little bit above Tesco's. Didn't think so. I think Sainsbury's was pretty mint, actually.
Okay. Sainsbury's is the best.
Yeah, I think Sainsbury's has to be up there. And then Morrison's down the bottom. Just the wrong...
Morrison's at the bottom, really?
Taste-wise, it was okay, but because of that extra thick lid...
got the tooth, yeah.
Yeah, it just squishes it. So... Yeah, look at that. We've done some snack wars that wasn't very well like this versus that like I've done before. This was just us chomping on some mince pies. So everybody enjoyed the break of us just consuming and probably ruining your ear holes while we just chomp through mince pies.
Chewing away in everyone's ear. Hello, indigestion, my old friend.
Well, I think the scary thing would be people that don't like the sound of chewing will hate that section.
Yeah, they will absolutely hate that.
While we're on mince pies, quick subject.
And picking bits of raisin and stalk and stuff out of our teeth. Yep.
Well, it's in the beard. I'll just save that bit for later. I'm peckish at 2 o'clock in the morning. And yes, I haven't looked on my lap. I'm probably apps. Oh no, it's all over the keyboard. Ah! We get there. Anywho, speaking of mince pies, what do you believe that there should be? The lid of a mince pie can be different. So you can get mince pies with like an iced.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a purist, mince pie purist. I struggle with it. I have had iced mince pies, and I've had mince pies with marzipan on top. And don't get me wrong, I love icing and I love marzipan, but don't piss about with a mince pie. Stop messing around with a mince pie. Okay? It is what it is. Everyone loves it. Why take perfection and go, oh, I don't want to add some icing to it? No, leave it alone. It's a mince pie. Oh my God, that indigestion is... that mince pie is talking to me. Woo. Yeah. So no, is my answer to that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Do you know what? I agree. I can't remember what the marzipan one is. I would have had it because it's in my mother's email. But yeah, I've had an iced mince pie, and iced mince pies. It goes a bit claggy, and you're like, nah, not quite. It's not something quite not right about it.
No. It's like pineapple on pizza.
You're going to be done with the coronation chicken again.
Oh God, no! I'm not. Don't get me started. I just can't let this whole pineapple thing go. But it is a running theme. But yeah, iced mince pies, no, absolutely. And I struggle as well with the lattice pastry as well, because it for me that's not enough. So I love loads of filling, but you do need to have enough of a lid. And the lattice, I feel like I'm being robbed.
Yeah. No, and I think lattice is for a big pie, and I can't imagine having a big mince pie. I think that'd be a bit overpowering. Like a mince pie should be a cupcake size.
It should
and
be, yeah.
And a big pie, like apple pie and things like that can have lattice on it. But if you've got lattice on a cupcake size one, what are you doing with your life? Just what are you doing? Like, just get out.
Yeah, you might as well just chuck icing on top of the lattice.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done with it. Might as well go whole hog and just completely ruin it.
Yeah, you might as well just make it like a jam tart, and instead of and have no lid at all. Just
know what? You might as well just pull down your trousers,
spoon it out of the jar,
and just defecate all over the mince pie. Sorry.
Oh dear, we're just being
extreme.
Right, we're going to go into poignant questions. We have a little bit of a different poignant questions this time, because instead of coming up with a bunch of poignant questions, my wonderful mother had some opinions on our previous Christmas podcast, and she wrote them all down.
Legend.
She wrote them all down, and we're not going to go through the entire email because that's not fair on my mother. I already take the mick out of her for a lack of ability to cook potatoes and a lack of inability to drive economically.
Dom, are you trying to get yourself killed?
Yes.
What? This is the third podcast in a row now.
She knows.
You're making life-limiting choices here. I'll say that.
I had a discussion with my mother about it, especially the driving. when my sister texted me 2 days after the last podcast came out, and she went, "She's done it again." And then my mum complained she's found somebody that could beat her away from the lights. And what's ironic is she's a 70-year-old woman. Whatever. Anyway, but
whatever. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you whatever. I'll tell you the what of the whatever. You're in deep trouble, my friend. Because it's the third podcast in a row. 3 strikes. 3 strikes. And you're out.
Oh dear.
It's been nice knowing you, Dom.
We might get to record the next one.
You might do. I don't know. See what the internet connection's like in a hospital bed with your legs in traction and your arm.
Oh dear. But as I said, we're not gonna read out everything. We're not gonna read out everything. But
Okay.
we've picked specific.
Can we read out the first word though?
What is the first word? Oh, hi.
Hi. I just felt it was important to read that out.
What makes me
Go
laugh?
for
Have you seen how my mum has signed off the email?
Yes. Yes.
My mum has just, because she emailed it to me and I forwarded it to Jerry, and it just says me kiss. That's it.
I love it.
It's not like
Legend.
it's not
Mrs.
like
W,
Mum.
you're a legend. You're a legend.
So the first poignant question is: Christmas isn't enjoyable as an adult, and I'm very curious to see what your opinion is on that, Jerry. This is mainly from about the first paragraph, I think.
So there was literally nothing in your mum's email that I didn't wholeheartedly agree with. Let me just start with that. So hence, that also adds to her status of legend. But I loved what she said, which is, I love the idea of it and love making it special for kids, but apart from religious people, because that's what it's about after all. I mean, right? She's absolutely spot on. Christmas should be banned. Should be banned. I was laughing out loud when I read this. Should be banned once kids don't believe anymore. And here, I can't even add to that. She's just put it so eloquently and so perfectly. And she's right. She's right. Because then, really, once it gets past that point where kids go, oh, yeah, there's no such thing as Father Christmas and all. Yeah, fine. Let it go. Let it go. And just do something else. Enjoy the time off and just don't worry about the whole Christmas thing.
Yeah,
So I couldn't agree more.
I don't disagree. I think the thing I use Christmas as the time to take some holiday, but my mum's right in the sense that quite often actually there's a bunch of extra work that you have to do for Christmas, right? Extra cooking, putting out decorations, cards, all that kind of malarkey. And you're right. It's like, what is the point of having a relaxing holiday if actually you've got to spend more of it doing gumph? And it's meant that Christmas at home. But when I go back I will go back to my parents. We don't have this extravagant dinner. We'll have a normal Sunday roast, right? And we might add crackers. That's about as far as we get.
With the fact that you've just said what you said about your mum for three podcasts in a row, I think you'll be lucky if you even get that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a baseball bat to the shins as soon as you walk through the door. Is what you're going to get.
Oh dear. But which means and that's not to say that my Christmases are like joyless. It's just there's no point. And it also means that my parents don't spend $3 billion on food that you don't eat. We don't put up 9 billion decorations, which costs £40,000 a minute to run. It's what it is. It's just an opportunity it's an opportunity for me to go home for a week, which I don't do any other time during the year.
I think what's going to happen is you're going to walk through the door.
I'm going home before Christmas, so it's okay.
Your mum is going to your mum's going to knock you out with a massive bag of unpeeled sprouts. then whilst you're unconscious, she's going to boil those sprouts up. And when you come to, she's just going to force you to eat the whole bag of sprouts.
Oh, I don't like
That'll be your punishment. Yeah, exactly. That'll be your punishment.
I hate sprouts.
And I hate to say it, Dom, but you brought it on yourself.
That's true. This is true.
So it's fully your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Is Christmas too expensive as well? That was
Yes. Yes. Yes, and that doesn't even warrant an explanation, right?
It just is.
How do we break that down? Christmas is ridiculous. It's expensive.
Do you still get a Christmas list from your daughter?
No. What my daughter does, and it's a classic. So around August time, she'll go, "I'm ordering all these clothes. Can I chuck it in your PayPal?" What? Well, it's for Christmas. It's an early Christmas present. No, it bloody isn't. No, it is. No, it bloody isn't. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that. You're talking a load of old bollocks. And then about a few weeks later, I'm ordering this, whatever it is. I don't know, Daft Punk ring. How much is it? Like 200 quid. What? It's early Christmas present. But you keep ordering stuff over the course of 6 months and saying it's an early Christmas present. This is a load of old bollocks. So,
I mean,
anyway.
I normally have at least my parents have the opposite problem. Dom, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. I got a Scooby Doo.
Lego. All you have to do is keep saying Lego. We're coming to that.
We'll come to that.
Coming to that.
I'll explain that one. And actually,
in fact, I've got a confession to make on this podcast.
Oh no.
When we come to that.
Okay. Presents are no longer saved for the whole year and so are less precious. We live in a get it now culture, which I think is the second paragraph.
I've pretty much covered that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yours isn't less precious. Yours doesn't even come around at Christmas. Yours comes August.
I mean,
when is your daughter's birthday? Could she at least half and half it, or is she a December baby?
To be fair, no. In fact, it starts before August because actually her birthday is in September.
Oh right, okay. So like I don't know, January to August. Oh, it's an early birthday present.
It's an early birthday present.
September to November. It's an early Christmas present.
Exactly. So basically it's just like a non-stop stream of presents. The fucking Amazon driver's just like he's camped out the front of our house. Fucking hell. Here you go. Bing dong, ding dong. I'll just stand here. And I've got a whole van full of stuff. I'll just like slowly just drip feed all of this shit into your house. Here you go. Here's another one. Here's another parcel.
Just attach an Amazon warehouse to your house. That'll just be the
You might as well. You might as well. So if you take an aerial shot of my house, you'll see our house, and then you'll see a huge 55,000 square foot Amazon fulfillment center bolted onto the side of it to constantly feed the machine that is. The birthday, then Christmas.
What's interesting is while I may be in trouble with your mother, you're definitely going to be in trouble with your daughter when she listens to the podcast.
Yeah, she's probably going to kill me.
And will you be defended by your wife? No, she'll be like, you brought it upon yourself.
No, she won't. It's like I can't defend you. With regards to your mum, she's well within her rights to knock you out with a bag of unpeeled sprouts.
They'll be frozen as well, so they'll make it like clunk.
Yeah, frozen, nice frozen ones as well.
Oh dear. So yeah, I mean, it's true. Like presents, like so. The bit from my mum's email that she put in, she said you'd save for the whole year to give a Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas we're a bit more cheap, cheerful, in quick.
And she also made a really good point, which I think is very true. So it's very astute what she said, which is now everybody wants instantaneous. So this is the quote: everybody wants instantaneous gratification and can usually get it even if it's on credit.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Wise. She's very wise.
My mother is
Mrs.
wise.
W.
Yeah. Next one, Marzipan. What's your opinion on Marzipan?
See, I love Marzipan.
But sense in a but.
Well, I love Marzipan. So I love Battenberg cake.
Battenberg cake, yeah.
Love a bit, love a bit of Battenberg. But it goes back to if you're trying to get Christmassy about this, keep it away from mince pies.
My mum puts it on mince
Right?
pies.
Keep them away from mince pies.
What, no,
You don't need marzipan
what my
on
mum
mince pies.
what my mum does when she's making mince pies is she will have 2 blocks of marzipan, one for her to eat and one for her to put on.
I noticed that, and I love that. And do you know, I'll just get the block and just nibble my way through that like a massive hunk of cheese.
Yeah, that's
Because it looks like cheese as well, doesn't it? And just grate like that. And just grate my way through the marzipan.
That is exactly what my mother does. Sorry to call you out, Mum, but you wrote it in here, so you've got no excuse.
Yeah, there's no comebacks on that.
I'm afraid to say. So, yes. Yeah. Marzipan is great. Marzipan is the best one. Bucks Fizz. I think this is a bit more of a New Year thing. Is it Bucks Fizz for breakfast on?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Bucks Fizz for breakfast on a Christmas day?
No.
I'm going to have to read out the quote that my mum said, because I'm not a very big drinker of alcohol, right, at all, but because neither of my parents are. Like, we don't go home. They didn't come home from work or, and be like, I'm going to have a beer or I'm going to have a glass of wine. It would be at occasions. So there could be like 4 or 5 months that they didn't drink alcohol. But my mum did put in the quote into this email. As for Bucks Figs, why dilute something if you're having alcohol? Then do it properly and get smashed quicker. Certainly makes cooking more fun. And I was like, that is not the sentence I would expect to hear from my mother.
But how right is she?
She's not wrong. Right, why water down champagne?
Case.
Just give me the champagne.
It's like having deconstructed chocolate.
Right.
So watered down champagne is about as pointless as saying, like, just have some champagne. Don't piss about with it. It's not like, I don't say, oh, I love chocolate, but actually, can you do me a favour? It's not actually comparing apples with apples here, but it is about. Yeah, I've backed myself in the corner, so I'm going to have to fight my way out.
Where's the coronation chicken?
I'm gonna have
the
to
coronation chicken.
Hey, that was properly backed up into the corner. I have backed but I can get out of this one, kind of. Like, you wouldn't take all of the elements, for example, of chocolate and eat them separately. So you wouldn't go and have a bag of sugar and nibble your way through a very, very bitter cocoa bean, right? And then drink a pint of milk. You would just go and get yourself a bar of dairy milk. You don't piss about. Don't piss about with anything. I like marzipan and I like pineapple, but don't put it on chocolate. Don't put it on a pizza. Don't piss about with stuff. Stop messing around with things. Don't put marzipan on mince pies. Don't cover a mince pie in chocolate. Just stop doing things, trying things out just because you're bored and you think, oh, this is evolution. No, it's not. Do you know what? On a serious note, in Japanese culture, they celebrate tradition.
Mm-hmm.
In Japanese culture, it's not that they're resistant to change, but something's got to be really compelling enough for people in Japan to go, yeah, you know what? We've been doing this for like fucking 10,000 years. And I just saw again. We've been doing this for 10,000 years. You're probably going to have to bleep that out.
Oh,
we've been doing this. We've been doing this for 10,000 years. And actually, why change it? Why? Whereas, I don't know if it's a Western thing, but it's like, oh, we've been eating mince pies for 10,000. That's an exaggeration. And I know you've told me a million times not to exaggerate. We've been eating mince pies for 10,000 years. Stop pissing about with it. It's the same recipe. Just eat it and enjoy it. Why do you have to go, oh, I tell you, what if we were to, what if you were to do what? What do you want to do with it? Put actual mincemeat in it? Actual beef mince? Oh, have you tried these beef mince pies?
Where's the beef?
Fucking hell. Right, what are these? Bolognese mince pies? Yeah. Oh, they're lovely. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to put marzipan on that. Chuck a pineapple cube on top of it. Stop pissing about. Mince pies are lovely. Just leave them alone.
This started on Bucks Fizz. That's the thing that gets me.
Oh yeah, go back to Bucks Fizz. Yeah, your mum's absolutely right. You weren't expecting this. You thought I was going to go on a Elon Musk rant. I ended up going on a whole different kettle of fish, which is fish has got nothing. And that's an idiom.
That's an idiom. That is an idiom. We haven't discussed that idiom yet.
We haven't got to that yet.
Oh dear.
Sorry. Anywho,
my God,
she's right.
I'm not going to enjoy going home this Christmas after my mum's listened to this version of the podcast. She's going to be like, Jerry thinks I'm right. Oh God, here we go.
No, but she is. She's absolutely spot. There's only one sentence in there I don't agree with, and it's in caps.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Right, but the rest of it, she's absolutely spot on.
Right. Christmas decorations and cards. I don't remember this paragraph. What does it say on this paragraph? Oh, this is about one-upmanship. Oh, God. I know what I was going to do. Right. So I even told my mum about this, and I have some of it written down. That's how drastic it got to. Right. Because I was so... Like, my turn to have a rant, basically. One-upmanship is an interesting thing, right? You go out and you look at Christmas lights, you think, oh, nice and pretty, right? And then you go to the next house, well, that's even prettier, right? And my parents have recently moved to a slightly more built-up area than they used to be. I say built-up area, you know, they can see more than two other neighbours, basically. And what they've noticed, if somebody will go out and put a string of Christmas lights on, and then the next person will go and put 2 strings of Christmas lights on, and then the first person will put 3 strings of Christmas lights. And then you get this ridiculous one-upmanship until literally you could power the sun by some of their, like, the amount of lights that these people have. And it's probably costing them a mortgage just to keep it running. Now,
you walk past the house and you get a tan.
Yeah. I've got that image of Ross when he goes in the tanning bed and just half of him's done.
Yes.
And it's Chandler. He goes, I went to that tanning place your wife suggested, and Chandler goes, where was that? The sun? Anyway, the interesting bit about one-upmanship, right? I get Christmas lights. I can kind of get Christmas lights. It's nice to put some Christmas lights on. Although sometimes they're a bit pointless because, well, when you go to bed, are you going to leave the Christmas lights blaring? And if you put loads of Christmas lights that you like on, and then you go in the house, you can't actually see your own bloody Christmas lights. So it feels a bit pointless, right? I like a good tree, but that's about as far as I go. Cards to get onto. But then that brings me on to the single worst invention known to man. Correction. It's not a bad invention, right? But it is originally a weapon. Fireworks. Fireworks are just need to be banned, right? If I was on room 101, fireworks, because they're dangerous. They do really bad stuff to the environment, and they're just not that good, right? I'll be totally honest. Like, we bang, yay, nice and pretty, but I've got to deal with loud noises, and I've got to deal with lights and smoke, and it puts wildlife out of things, and fireworks are just the single worst thing known to man. And then you get this one-upmanship. I can get a bigger rocket than you can. Great. Well, I've just disturbed every neighbour in a 4-mile radius because the rocket that I sent up was so big and loud that the army are going to worry that we're being invaded. Like, it's just it's pointless, and it's just not required. Fireworks suck.
And the army, I just got visions of him going, oh no, we're under attack. No, this is it. Yeah, we're under attack.
And it's like, yeah, I fireworks just do my Sweden, and it's that one-upmanship with fireworks. It's like, yes, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take an explosive near my house. Yes.
What a brilliant idea.
Sarcastic thumbs up. So yeah, it was. That, you know, my mum put in about like the one-upmanship with Christmas decorations. And in a time where people don't have a lot of money, the last thing I want to be doing is spending money on Christmas decorations and then plugging them in, because that stuff is expensive.
Exactly.
I haven't got time for that. and I don't see the point in it. And I have done Christmas cards this year, right? Not for everybody, for people that I'm buying a present for, which is different. It's so I can write an actual note, right, to them. You know, I've not written a Christmas card that just says to so and so Merry Christmas from Dom. There is a note that goes with it, and the easiest way to do it was to get recycled Christmas cards, not Christmas cards that are made of recycled paper. And because then I feel good about I get to do my environmental side of things and do that. But yes, I have Christmas cards. But I don't see this point where I'm like, right, let me go through my entire address book and be like, right, I'm going to write all 97 people a Christmas card. Because, like, dude, I've got better things to do with my time. And why? And then if you give someone a Christmas card and they don't give you one back, does that mean they care about? I like it. Just introduces these social norms.
Exactly, it's a minefield. And
I just think
it's a minefield.
So yes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I 100% agree with my mum on the fact that
there you go.
Christmas decorations suck. And cards.
Can I just say? You mentioned cards, and it's got nothing to do with Christmas, but I'm just saying to you now, at some point in the future, I am going to get some business cards printed for myself.
Business cards?
Business cards, yeah. And they'd be very nice. Very good quality business cards. All it'll say on there is, and I'll keep them in like a little business card holder as well. And those business cards will just say, I don't like you. You smell. Just walk quietly away. Just walk quietly away from me. And I'll just be handing out those cards to people.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Why would you do that?
I'll chat and then they go. Have one of my business cards.
The business card I have seen from somebody that was really good is a person that was 6'9". Somebody came up to him, and before they spoke, he just gave them this business card, and it said on it, "Yes, I'm tall. No, I didn't play basketball. Weather's fine up here."
That's genius. That is genius. Absolute genius.
Oh dear. And as somebody,
I want to see that. I want that card. I want that card.
I'll find that.
That is genius.
On. As somebody who's 6'3", I can definitely appreciate that. I was like, yes, I can get behind that. Especially as I've had all this week, I've met a bunch of new people, and what's the first thing they all say to me?
Oh, for goodness sake. It's getting old now, isn't it? Ooh, you're tall. It's like, you might as well just say, oh, haven't you grown?
What's interesting is one of the people that said it to me, she said, she said it and she went, "I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have said it because I don't want it to be the defining feature. It's lovely to meet you, Dom. It's just unexpected." And I said, no, it's fine. I've had it all like the last 2 weeks. It's not a problem. I just said I just won't say anything. You know, I won't say things like, "Oh, you're shorter than I expected" or something like that, because that always feels like the wrong way around. And she went, "No, it's okay. I'm 5'1". You can say that, and people have said that to me." And I was like, "I wouldn't even dream of saying that to you."
Oh wow!
So yeah. This person I met was shorter. She just lovely person. But yes, she was.
No, but why? But yeah, but exactly. But I'd never say that to anyone. Oh my God, you're shorter than I thought, or just. I mean, where do you draw the line? If it's okay to say, "Oh God, you're tall," where do you draw the line? "Oh God, you're fat." Oh wow! People see me and go, "God, you look older than I thought."
I can't say it.
You're fatter than
I'll tell you the story after the podcast because it's to do with work. So, but okay. I do have a brilliant story on that one. I have a brilliant story. But yes. Anyway, no to cards, no to fireworks, no to like too many Christmas decorations. They need to be subtle and effective, and absolutely no to the fireworks. Oh, interesting story. With fireworks though, I did go and see the Bournemouth firework show when they got it wrong. So fireworks these days are obviously normally controlled by computers. But they'd accidentally, instead of setting it to minutes, they'd set it to milliseconds. So instead of it like, it just went bang, and that was it. Sorry, headphone listeners. And then just somebody on the tannoy goes, "We're terribly sorry, people. We seem to have made a mistake here." Because you can't like reverse that, right? If you know what I mean.
Oh,
I'd like to point out.
is that seriously what happened? Is that what happened? What?
No.
This year?
It was it 2013? I think 2013.
Oh my god!
It was the best fireworks show I'd been to. It was like, whoosh, and you're like, well, that was quite impressive. And then you kind of hung around for a little bit, and then just some voice come on the tannoy go, "We're terribly sorry, people. We seem to have made a mistake." And then the rumours like flood through all the people that stood on the beach to watch this.
Oh, that is absolutely. That's got to be on. That's got to be on Google somewhere. That is absolutely hilarious.
That's great.
I love that story. That is hilarious. Can you imagine, like, going, yeah, sorry about that. We just spent £150,000 of fireworks in 3 milliseconds. 30 milliseconds. Anyway.
Right, should we go on to the bit that you've put in capitals?
Woo. Yeah. I'm gonna get into trouble.
Well,
Mrs. W's
so
not gonna like me now.
I will actually defend my mother a little bit here on this. She has a very good reason. She has a very good reason why I'm not.
I know, and I did, and yeah, when I read her reason, I thought, yeah, fair point, because she's reluctantly supporting your love of Lego.
Yeah.
Which is an overhead for her.
So the poignant question on this one, folks, is to do with Lego and my mum's. Which paragraph is it? So it is my birthday 5 days after Christmas. For those that don't know me. Right, now to address your birthday, if there's any mention of Lego, I will ban you from coming home. I'm running out of cling film and boxes to store the stuff in, and I refuse to dust it anymore. Now, Lego is exceptionally difficult to dust. I currently live in a very small flat. I do not have anywhere to put the Lego. And when you say Lego, you're probably thinking, oh, I've got a couple of these models. No, I do have the Lego Death Star that is like 8,000 pieces that took me 4 days to put together. I do have probably 5 or 6 other Star Wars ones that aren't quite as big, but they're not small. And Lego is not very easy to dust. And my parents have had to move that Lego from their old house to their current house about must be a year and a half ago now. So my mum is quite rightly able to say,
"Oh, I must have loved you for that."
My mum has said, like, you can have Lego as long as it goes in your own damn flat or house. Now, I haven't yet bought my house because, yay, global economic climate. But I will be soon, and when that is, I'll be transferring the Lego to my house, and I will absolutely be buying more. I'll be probably buying I'll be buying the Death. No, the Imperial Star Destroyer, absolutely.
Millennium Falcon. Oh, you've got to get the Imperial Star Destroyer. Actually, have you seen the latest one?
I haven't seen the latest one, no.
I almost fainted with excitement, and then I thought, I'll get a grip, Jerry, because it's insane amount of money. But it's the latest one is the Lego Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yes, I did see.
And it's 10,001 pieces, and it's 1.5 meters tall. So that's basically, it's about 5 foot tall.
Oh.
It's a thing of beauty, but honestly, I think that would be the last thing I do. Chloe will literally kill me if I was to get that. She would kill me.
I've just gone onto it now. So the Eiffel Tower, it has. Do you know how many pieces it has?
Yeah, 10,000.
Yeah, 10,001. That's quite amusing. That makes it.
I love the one. I love the fact it's not just 10,000 pieces. Or 999. It's 10,001.
Do you know how tall it is?
Yep. It was 1.49 meters. Tall.
1.5 meters.
Not that I've been studying this too much or anything.
I'm 6'3", therefore it's only 40 centimeters shorter than me. It's about 1.5 foot shorter than me. Right? I'm 191 centimeters. I know how tall I am. Instant.
Right, so this Eiffel Tower is about 36 centimeters taller than me.
You're not that short, Jerry. It's probably about the same height. Actually, it's not, or not far. No, it's a little bit less. 1.5 foot shorter than me. That's well, we've had a guest on, which is probably about the same height. Young Dr.
Wow.
Francis
Wow.
is what does she say she is? I always get this wrong. I always say that she's only about 5 foot. She goes, "Oh, I'm 5'3", 5'2", one of the two." So yeah, she's not too far off.
So it is,
Yeah.
not too far off.
Not too far off. Let me just do 5'3" inch in cm.
Oh my God! There's a guy from some blog thing, which is art with Lego bricks. Look at that. I mean, it's huge. Oh, so cool.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah.
And have you seen the Lego Titanic? It's another one.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so that'll be my focus. I think it'll be like, definitely.
Yeah. I think Imperial Star Destroyer is the way to go for that. So I've got the OG Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
The newer one is
Yeah.
incredible. The detail on it is
Need it in my life. That's going to probably
Next
take me
level.
about 6 days as well to build as well, which is going to be always interesting. So
I love
yeah,
it.
so I'm afraid to say, like, I can understand why my mum doesn't want me to get any more Lego because
Yeah, I get that. No, I get it.
I don't think it's a you're not allowed any Lego. It's a please don't bring any Lego into my bloody house.
Or again, I will knock you out with some frozen sprouts.
Oh dear. Right, you've got your reminder.
Oh yeah, I've done it quite a few times, but I'll do it anyway now. Here we go. Reminder. This is for you, Mrs. W. Wow.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Grapes on a cheese board, or are grapes for flicking? I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, I love that. But it was a way. Okay, so again, it's the way she worded it, which I absolutely loved. So she put, "Do you not have grapes?" I love the wording. Do you not have grapes on a cheese board, or are they just for flicking at people when they annoy you? I mean, absolute legend. So again, that like Coronation Chicken.
You've been backed into a corner.
That backed me. Yeah, that backed me into a corner completely, because I thought, actually, you munch your way through all of that cheese and the crackers, and then you just need that something to freshen the palate. And grapes absolutely hit the spot. And then you think, oh, and I was thinking about it. Oh crap, she's right. She's right. She's right. They're not there for flicking at people that annoy you. You pick pineapple off a pizza and flick hot pineapple at people that annoy you. But you do not flick grapes from a cheese board. You eat those. And she's again spot on.
God damn it! I'm gonna get. So she's not gonna at the end.
Honestly,
of this when I go home at Christmas.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
No,
you can't argue with
as a person that likes pineapple on pizza. I'm okay. Interestingly, I don't like Coronation Chicken. But,
there you go.
The rest of them I'm all okay with. Although I don't like sultanas in a curry.
No, I don't. Well, but then, yeah, that goes back to the raisins in the curry and things. You just think, come on,
it's not right.
You need to sort your life. You need to get a grip.
What's interesting is we quite often have a cheese board like at Christmas. It's one of the few times that we do something slightly different. We have cheese and crackers in the evening for a couple of nights. And I have to admit, so they always get like Wensleydale with cranberries in it, or another cheese with apricots in it. I cannot stand them. Don't know why. If it's actually mixed in with the cheese, it makes it really claggy. But if you gave me like pineapple and cheese on a stick where I could eat them separately, I'm okay with that. Or again, a grape
I agree with
and a grape and
that.
cheese, like they go together, but not at the same time. And
not at the same time.
But then the things that I always do is I always love that they'll always get like the Mexican spicy cheese, and that is Oh, now we're stalking. Now we are stalking.
Yeah. So I whenever there's when I look at the cheese board, that's the one I go straight to. If I see anything, it's just like the Mexican or the jalapeno,
Yeah.
the jalapeno cheese as well that you can get. Oh
Absolutely.
my God. I gravitate towards that.
Absolutely. Right, favorite movie to watch at Christmas and why?
Easy peasy. Although, before we go any further with this, it's a regular thing now. Have you seen Predator?
I have not.
Oh, for God's sakes. I don't know how much more of this I can take. Have you seen The
I've
Rock?
not watched a single...
Have you
I've
seen
seen
Con
one
Air?
film since the last podcast recording, and that was at the cinema. So I saw the new Black Panther.
Which one?
It's very, very good. Bring tissues. No, it's obviously with Chadwick Boseman who unfortunately who passed away.
Oh, flipping neck. Okay, I didn't realise.
From the start, they don't pull their punches. It's right from the start. So yeah, it's not a.
Oh, okay.
There's humorous bits, but it's not a. It's a hard hitting Marvel film. They've done it very well, but it's very good. Yes, would recommend.
So now I feel like
I know you feel like a bit of it.
Now I feel okay. I retract that statement.
Right, Christmas film.
Okay, so Christmas film. Well, do you want me to read out what I've written? Because it's for me, it's as easy.
You might as well. Yeah.
So I might as well. So let me go ahead and tell you my thoughts, which is Die Hard, ultimate Christmas movie. No arguments there. I don't want any arguments from anyone on that. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, that's actually set. The theme of that is set around making it home for Thanksgiving. So it's not quite Christmas, but brilliant Christmas movie. One of my favourites. And, Home Alone, which is what Mum said. Again, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Home Alone. But Die Hard is still the best. It's the ultimate. It's the most Christmassy, the most heartwarming. Just the best Christmas movie ever.
The thing I like about Die Hard is when he throws the body through the window and he goes, "Welcome to the party, pal."
But so many quotable lines.
Now I have a machine gun. I can't argue. I don't think I've seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I probably have, but it's been a while.
Oh God,
it's been a while.
It's a John Candy and Steve Martin special.
Yeah, I think as soon as I started seeing it, but yes, I have seen this. I don't think I've seen, but I've seen the others. I've seen Die Hard. I've seen Home Alone. 1, 2, and 3 for Home Alone, and 1 to. They must be on to like 27 with Die Hard these days.
Yeah. I missed a trick actually because this whole podcast I could have just done quotes from
Yippee-ki-yay! Well,
you can bleep it out.
Oh, I'm not going to find this one, am I?
Come out to the coast, get together, have a few laughs.
Oh dear. That brings us to the end of the poignant questions. My mum has written a very large email, and it was very funny to read. And as we said,
That's
it
brilliant.
is pretty much perfect. There were a few boomer things, Mum. You just mentioned Facebook. But
sorry, Dom. I'm really, really sorry. Can I just sprinkle it every now and again? I'll just come in with another Die Hard quote.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Okay.
I can't believe you're asking if that's all right.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd check. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring except the 4 assholes coming in the rear in standard 2x2 cover formation.
Oh God, it's a great film. It's a great film.
Sorry, I love that.
Am I allowed
so
to watch
much.
Die Hard,
Yes.
or do I need to watch Predator or The Rock first?
When you've seen Die Hard, so I would say in priority order, Predator is up there. You
Mhm.
have to see Predator. I can't believe you haven't seen Predator. I mean, you haven't seen Predator.
So yeah,
Why haven't you seen Predator?
I've been busy.
That's no excuse. Everyone's seen Predator. Barack Obama is the busiest person in the world.
He probably
I've
has
seen
known
Predator.
him, actually. No, he
There's no
probably
excuse.
has.
Henry Kissinger's seen it. All the busiest people have seen it.
Oh my god! Right, I'm moving on before.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
let's go on to idioms.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't got anything ready for these. I was supposed to be ready.
So whilst you're doing that, here's another quote. Nice suit. John Phillips, London. I have two myself. Rumour has it Arafat buys his there too.
Buys his.
Just
Oh, that was a yawn. Didn't expect that one. Right, let's go through
No.
idioms. So I've come up with a bunch of Christmas idioms. I think we'll probably do these fairly quickly because I think most of them are pretty self-explanatory. Christmas came early this year.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
I think so. This one is more around like if you receive something unexpected, right before like you might go, oh, Christmas has come early this year. I'm just opening up the page that I stole all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just reading my comment and going, okay.
It's used when something really good happens, but it's completely unexpected. So that one's fairly self-explanatory, I think.
I think it is. I don't think
I'm curious about that. What did you?
I think we'll just leave that.
Yeah.
No, you don't. I really don't think you want to read that.
What's interesting is do people that don't celebrate Christmas, do they have a different idiom for that one? I don't think it's something we can answer because I suppose we're two people that celebrate Christmas.
No, I think we're going to have to do some research on that. I'll get my people to look into it. I'll get my research department to look into that.
Office. I've got a green screen. Editor, put me in the office.
Oh,
wait, I'm the editor.
Yeah. I'll get me coat. Yeah, I'll ask my research team to look into that.
A white Christmas.
Racist.
I love the way that's what you've written, racist. It's basically to say that it snowed on Christmas Day, which I don't think I have ever heard.
I think I had once or twice in my lifetime, but it's never going to happen again.
I mean, it's not going to snow again in the UK.
From...
Let's be totally honest. Well, at least not down south.
No, it's basically it's just going to be. We're going to. I think moving forward, it's just going to be 6 months of intense, dry, life-threatening heat, followed by 6 months of intense, torrential life-threatening downpours, and that's going to be.
I'm not sure.
Our season. Oh look, it's drought. Oh look, it's flooding. Oh look, it's drought. Oh look, it's flooding. Hosepipe ban. Oh, now it's too much water. Ah, my bedroom is filling up with water. Oh look, it's a drought. Honestly. Oh, the water will reach you, don't worry.
My downstairs neighbour has a serious problem, as does half of the place that I do live, because I live at the top of the hill.
Yeah, and it'll reach you.
Like, I've seen what you've written for the next one, right? And I knew you would. So the next one is good things come in small packages. You can read out what you've written.
Oh, really? Okay. I put Bishop. It's not the size of the wave, it's the motion of the ocean.
Oh dear. But this one is
And I don't actually get that either. I don't understand that idiom. What,
Oh God.
why? You don't go. You don't go. Oh look, there's a big package. I bet there's something shit in there. And then you tear open the package and go, oh yeah, there you go. Just as I suspected, an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
What get me is at one point I thought you were going to ask me about the idiom. It's not the weight, whatever it is, not the waves. It's not the size of the waves. It's the motion. I thought you were asking me to explain that one. I was like, I feel like a dad. I feel like a dad that's explaining the birds and the bees. So I was like, I'm being back to do corner here, Jerry. And when I get back to do corner, I bite and scratch. That deserves a wow.
Wow.
Like, good things come in small packages. The idiom says that we should not judge a package by its size. The size of something does not indicate its value. But just because a package is small, it doesn't mean it's not good or the best. But to me,
oh my God, isn't that how much of it is? It's like a carry-on film.
Hello, voice crack. Good things come in small packages is exactly saying that only good things come in small packages. So you are judging. You're actually judging, as you said, big packages.
Yeah. Being sizist. Being sizist. Oh. And if you got an Imperial Star Destroyer for Christmas, that would be in a big package.
Well, unless you do what I've done before, whereas you unpack the Lego and you wrap each individual bit.
Have you seriously done
similar to that? Yes.
You've wrapped. So
it was a really small one.
8,000.
It was. We didn't do 8,000. It was
like
we did like a tiny, you get like the 16 to 24 piece models, and we did one of them.
Can you imagine if you did that though? That would be so funny. You just get like a massive Christmas sack.
The other thing that I've always wanted to do is wrap things like they're not. So, add like instead of how to call it. You've bought somebody a video game and then you wrap it like a bike. That's one of the ones that I want to do, so that they look at it and go, "Oh, I've got a bike," and then they unwrap it and it's a video game or something like that.
You'd have to be very careful with how far you go with that, because there'd be one where you go, "Oh God, that looks like Jeff Bezos's rocket ship."
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
Oh, I think Jerry. I think you can hear me fine, but I can't. I've lost you a little bit on the internet, I'm afraid to say. Where were we? We've just done good things in small packages.
Yes.
So let's do... We're going to have to explain. Like, we've just had a major outage on the system that we're using. It's probably been about 10 minutes that we've had. So, and it's getting quite late for us. So I think we'll save interesting facts, because I've only got 5 interesting facts. Right. We'll save them for next year. So we'll do a couple more idioms. And then I think, based upon the fact that this podcast has been stressful for us, we shall call it a little bit early. And we've done the bit that we wanted to do, which was the email.
Yeah. And we've recorded some amazing content. So I'm just praying that everything's okay.
Yeah. So we'll do this last idiom then. Last two. We'll do deck the halls.
Yeah, what is that all about?
Well, I think that just means put up Christmas decorations. I mean, it can't be anything else, can it?
I don't know. Have you got the explanation?
Yeah. Yeah, to deck the halls means to decorate swan homes with Christmas decorations.
Oh, okay.
This is from A Christmas Carol. Deck the halls.
Yeah. Okay.
So, fairly simple. Fairly simple one. Oh dear. And then the last one, which I love, is 'tis the season to be jolly. What have you put?
No, it bloody isn't. It's not as severe as the penultimate one. The eat, drink, and be merry.
Yes. Yeah, let's discuss the idioms together. Eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah, let's.
It feels like it's like thou must be happy at Christmas.
Yes, and how dare you not embrace it? And I'm thinking, no, I don't want to. Why do I have to? So
dear.
yeah, eat. I mean, what? Honestly, we got. This is the thing that gets me is it's not proportionate, and people
Right.
and everyone just goes mad about Christmas, but for what? And I just find it weird. Eat, drink. Why can't you just eat, drink, and be merry all year round?
Yeah. I mean,
What-
I'd be probably significantly heavier than I currently am.
Why is this the season to be jolly? What are the other seasons then? Oh, look, it's spring. I'm going to be a miserable. What are the other seasons meant to do? What are you meant to do in the other seasons?
Oh, I mean, even when it comes to season. Oh, I mean, actually, interestingly, winter is normally the season that you're the most miserable because it's dark, it's cold, it's wet.
Exactly. So what are they on about? What are they on
Need
about?
to emigrate to Australia.
I swear to God.
I want a turkey on the beach.
I swear to God. If I had the money, I'd be I would say probably about the 1st of November to mid-March. I'd be on a beach in Trinidad. Drinking Red Stripe.
I like your thing.
Drinking Red Stripe and eating jerk chicken. God, I love Jamaican food.
I like your thinking. Oh,
I love
goat curry.
Goat curry. Oh,
that was the best thing.
Come on. Rice and peas. Give me that on a warm beach. Actually, it doesn't have to be red. What was that other Jamaican? It's a beer that's specific to Trinidad and Tobago, and it's so good.
I was going to say I just tried the other delicacy that Jamaica has.
What's that?
Rum.
Oh, rum's lovely. Rum's lovely. In fact, I've had a Jamaican cocktail. It's one of my favourite cocktails. But my God, you could probably only have two at the most. So it's Guinness, rum, right? Guinness, rum, condensed milk. Yeah, exactly. Right. And there was something else in it as well, and it was unbelievable. It's lovely, but you drink it and you go, "Whoa, okay, that's heavy and that is strong."
Yeah, I mean, like condensed milk and Guinness are quite heavy liquids. They're like you could chew Guinness.
Yeah, and you could chew condensed milk. So then you put two chewy liquids together and add rum. But oh my God, the taste! It's dark rum as well. Oh my God!
Yeah, well, it's got to be dark rum.
But I love Jamaican food.
I mean, as they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, what the actual fringe?
So there is another popular version of this idiom which makes a bit more sense, which is the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and it basically means that the success will be judged when you actually test it. Which reminds me of work sometimes, where it's like, well, the proof will be in the pudding. When we actually put this into operation, will it be successful? As with most things, unlikely no. Well, we're not going to go into a rant about work on this because I'll be here till. I just love Jerry's notes. So I'm like they're rattled through. So we've done 'tis the season to be jolly. No, it bloody isn't. Lit up like a Christmas tree.
Obs.
The proof is in the pudding.
What the hell is this about? Can't wait to find out.
What the actual fringe?
Yeah, what the actual fringe?
Don't be left out in the cold.
Or with today's energy prices, it's more like don't be left in the cold.
Today, I have to admit, today was the first day I saw in my flat it was below 16 degrees. I actually saw 15 degrees on one of my thermometers, but currently it's a fairly
look
balmy.
at that, 20. You're right, 20 degrees. Your flat is constantly like Jamaica, isn't it?
Well, it is with that humidity level.
Oh, is that what that is underneath?
Yeah, that's the
67%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's your flat's like Florida.
Well, I'll let you know when I go out there.
But without the hurricanes and
No,
without the
fingers
alligators.
Then you've put eat, drink, and be merry.
I don't think I can read the... Yeah.
And then the last one, which I don't remember, like turkeys voting for Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
So this idiom is used when someone accepts a situation that will have a bad outcome for them.
Yeah.
It would be like turkeys voting for Christmas if we are asked to work over the Christmas break. Didn't know that idiom. Not so sure I've said that.
I don't really understand that example. I don't get that example.
No, that example is correct. I think it's based. It would be turkeys voting for Christmas if we.
Okay, if we all voted in favour of upping our consumption of oil and gas and coal,
that would be like turkeys voting for Christmas.
Yeah.
In a long term, at least, anyway.
Yeah, it'd be a long Christmas.
Oh dear. Right, I think we'll have to call it there. We my God, the technical issues.
We've only been recording for 11 minutes and 54 seconds, according to my clock.
Jerry, the recording has gone on for 2 hours and 5, but I think there's probably a good 15 minutes that we'll have to cut out. So it'll be another sub 2 hour podcast for us folks. But we shall attempt to sort these technical issues out for next time. So we shall bear with us. Jerry, your final thoughts.
My mind's gone blank. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. Your mum has just gone. I mean, she was already very high up in my estimations. She's at stratospheric levels now. Off the back of her email, what a legend. So I'm dedicating this episode to you, Mrs. W. Wow.
Oh,
there you go.
My mum is going to be unbearable over Christmas.
There you go.
It's going to be good. It's good. No, your email was brilliant, and I still laugh every time you just sign it me.
Me.
And to be fair, I definitely get that because when I phone the home phone, so I don't know who's going to pick it up because it could be anyone from home. That thing still exists apparently. I don't know if you have one, Jerry. A house phone.
Well, I do, but I don't know where it is, and I can't remember the last time I used it. But yeah, okay,
yeah. Whereas I still phone the house phone when I ring back. I will go, "Hi, it's me," when they answer the phone. So excellent. Yeah, that's good. So,
what are your final thoughts, Dom?
Oh, you're throwing it back on me.
Just switcheroo, right back at you.
You shouldn't have put the World Cup in Qatar. Elon Musk needs to be stopped. Christmas is average, and I love mince pies.
What a brilliant way to wrap up the podcast. What a brilliant way to burrito the podcast.
We're going to burrito that one. Oh, someone did ask me, is a hot dog a sandwich?
According to your definition from that episode, yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be.
But if we took that out, would you class a hot dog as a sandwich?
Yeah.
I would say no.
What?
Why? Because it's not two pieces of bread surrounded in a sausage. It's one piece of bread.
Oh, wait. Well, hold up. No. Oh, no, that's ridiculous. No. It doesn't matter how you slice it. You got bread, sausage, pardon the pun. You got bread, sausage, bread. Right. Just because the bread happens to be connected. No.
Does that mean
It's
then
a
a burrito? Does that mean that a burrito is a sandwich as well under that definition?
Well, it ain't a soup.
And
it ain't a salad. That kind of narrows it down. So you got two sandwiches right there.
And on that note, I think we will end. Thank you very much, folks, for listening, for watching. We I'm going to do a YouTube plug. Please subscribe if you're not. It does help us out because we know then who's regularly listening. Please follow us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever your platform of choice. You don't need to do them on those. Please rate us if you think we're good enough, because then we might be able to spread to some random people as well as people that we know. Please share with your friends and family. We've got a very, very, very exciting episode coming up next. I'm so excited for it. It's a little bit different, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but you will very much hopefully appreciate what we do on the next episode, assuming no technical issues, which there could be. So we'll have to figure that out. And please leave us comments. Please let us know what you think. We want to improve, and now we've obviously have to fight some technical difficulties for this one, but that's okay, right? Stuff happens, and we're not the self-proclaimed best podcast in the world, Joe Rogan. We are probably the worst podcast in the world, but that's okay because we love doing it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Look after yourselves. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe.